Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 21st chapter, entitled Conversation between Manu and Kardama. Text number 33. Maitreya Uvacha Evam Tamanubhashyatha Bhagavan Pratyagakshajaha Jagama Bindu Sarasaha Saraswatya Parishritat. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Maitreya went on, thus having spoken to Kardama Muni, the Lord, who reveals himself only when the senses are in Krishna consciousness, departed from that lake called Bindu Sarovara, which was encircled by the river Saraswati. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. One word in this verse is very significant. The Lord is stated here to be Pratyag Akshaja. He is imperceptible to material senses, but still he can be seen. This appears to be contradictory. We have material senses, but how can we see the Supreme Lord? He is called Adhokshaja, which means that he cannot be seen by the material senses. Akshaja means knowledge perceived by material senses. Because the Lord is not an object that can be understood by speculation with our material senses, he is also called Ajita. He will conquer, but no one can conquer him. What does it mean then that still he can be seen? It is explained that no one can hear the transcendental name of Krishna, no one can understand his transcendental form, and no one can assimilate his transcendental pastimes. It is not possible. Then how is it possible that he can be seen and understood? When one is trained in devotional service and renders service unto him, gradually one's senses are purified of material contamination. When one's senses are thus purified, then one can see, one can understand, one can hear, and so on. The purification of the material senses and perception of the transcendental form, name, and quality of Krishna are combined together in one word, Pratyagakshaja, which is used here. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport.
So finally, after having spoken to Kardama Muni, the Lord who revealed himself disappeared from the eyes of Kardama Muni. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining very important transcendental knowledge regarding spirit and matter, regarding the Supreme Lord who is transcendental, and yet how Kardama Muni could see the Lord with his material eyes. Pratak Akshajaha, directly he could see. So all these things, the tattva behind all these things are explained in this purport. It's very important for us to understand what Srila Prabhupada is saying here and the different principles that are involved behind this phenomena of how our material eyes, which is eyes made out of phenomena, can also see the Lord. Normally, the Lord is called Adokshaja. He cannot be seen by the material senses. He cannot be seen by the material senses. It's a fact. He cannot be seen by the material senses alone. Just like I can say, if I need a specs to read, I can say that the specs cannot read. The specs cannot read by itself. So in the same way, but if there is a live eyes behind this specs, then it can read. So material senses are like these specs. One cannot see with this material senses the Lord. But if one's inner eyes, the eyes of the spirit is purified, either purified or the Lord, for the sake of giving darshan, He awakens it for small window of time, then you can see the form of the Lord, transcendental form of the Lord. In the spiritual world, everybody's eyes is spiritual, everybody can see the form of the transcendental, Satchidananda form of the Lord. But in the material world, if you have to see the transcendental form of the Lord, then we have to have spiritual eyes also. Spiritualized eyes, behind these eyes, the sense of seeing is purified, and the Lord allows His transcendental form to be seen through these material eyes also. But who is seeing really? The purified eyes are seeing. Now come to the understanding which we discussed yesterday. Let us discuss on the Archavatara, Nama Avatara of the Lord. Because here also Prabhupada says, it is explained that no one can hear the transcendental name of Krishna. No one can understand his transcendental form. No one can assimilate his transcendental pastimes. What does that mean? No one can hear the transcendental name of the Lord. What does that mean? We are all hearing, every day we are chanting Hare Krishna, but here Prabhupada says no one can hear the transcendental name. No, that means, see, no one can hear the transcendental name of Krishna. You said unless he agrees. That is fine. But if you are, so every day you are hearing the transcendental name of Krishna. Are you hearing? I am hearing because Lord has permitted me. Transcendental name of Krishna is Shuddhanama. Shuddhanama. We are not hearing the Shuddhanama. To hear Shuddhanama, you need Shuddha Manas. You need Shuddha sense of hearing. You need that. And in addition to it, the Lord should also allow to be heard. Then you can hear the transcendental name of the Lord. Then the question comes, hear very carefully, then the question comes, then what are we hearing? You can understand what I am going to say now if you recall yesterday's class, where I said the avatara of the Lord in this material world means his person and his energies, pure energies surrounding him. We also discussed how matter intrinsically is only an energy. You see the body of the deity. Okay, you want to, okay, somebody will say, okay, that is that is God. We devotees will say that is God. A non-devotee will say, oh, that is metal. But the devotee also has to explain that that is a metal. He cannot deny that. Why that is a metal for him, also a devotee has to explain and understand. Because what that fellow saying is also truth according to his perception. It is metal. A devotee understands why he is seeing as metal. And what is the way in which devotee is seeing it differently? When a particular energy, all energies are belonging to Krishna. Entire material energy, if you go to Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see it is all condensed and finally becomes Pradhana, Mahatattva. This material energy is ultimately energy. This table is one state of that energy. But what is it? It is energy. This microphone with a particular form and particular property is a state of energy. There is nothing like eternal microphone. There is nothing like eternal table in this material world. It is all energy. When that energy is connected to Krishna, then it attains its purity, or it gets its original purity as spiritual energy. There is nothing like material energy. Material energy is when you see energy, when you relate with the energy, whether it is matter, whether it is form, whether it is touch, whether it is smell, or whether it is power, money, or whatever it may be, material energy, when you see it in service of Krishna, because energy is meant to serve the energetic. When you see it as serving Krishna, then that is its original pure state. There is no contamination. Otherwise, there is a contamination in the seer's eyes. For instance, look at Prabhupada's deity. As soon as we see Srila Prabhupada's deity, we remember Prabhupada. Somebody who does not know who Prabhupada is, he simply see a fiberglass statue. His perception is disconnected from personality of Prabhupada. So he will get a perception of the three modes of material nature. Three modes of material nature is the effect of material energy. When the devotee looks at Prabhupada's deity, the three modes of material energy is not influencing his consciousness because he is remembering Prabhupada. And then what he sees is, once material energy does not create the influence characteristic of three modes, then what is left is what? The pure spiritual energy. The three modes of material energy is a covering between the seer and pure spiritual energy. Everything comes from Krishna, everything is Krishna's. In all its states, in its pure energy state as pradhana to its manifest forms as microphone, table, floor, this, that, body, everything. In all its form, it is spiritual. Provided that its intrinsic connection with the Lord is seen by the seer. So something is Maya or not Maya is because of the perceiver. Something is matter because of the perceiver, not because that energy is intrinsically matter. No, it's intrinsically everything is Krishna's pure spiritual energy. So now you come to the avatar of the Lord. Take the chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It is it is an avatar of the sound incarnation of the Lord. It is a sound incarnation of the Lord. The Lord has eternal form, Lord has eternal name in the spiritual world. That Nama in the spiritual world takes avatara. Avatara means incarnation. Incarnation means carnation. Incarnation. That means in matter, he manifests. Now there is nothing like matter. Go back to point 1. That means in his energy, he manifests. What does it really mean? In his energy, he manifests. He is different, his energy is different. Simultaneously one and different. He is different, his energy is different. But he manifests in his energy. What is his energy? The material energy that is vibrating. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, we are daily chanting the Lord's transcendental Nama manifest in spiritual energy of this vibration. This vibration, everything is spiritual. First we established. Everything is spiritual. And this spiritual is particularly manifesting in a particular form as a vibration or as a deity form. The metal of the deity is manifesting. And when it manifests in that particular spiritual form, because in energy form, let's say energy form. When he manifests in the energy form, that Lord is omnipotent. That's why omnipotency factor is very important. The Lord, who is Satchidananda Vigraha, who is a personality, he manifests in his transcendental form or name, sound, etc., into the energy. Because why? Because I am in touch with the energy. My senses are in touch with the energy. My senses are not touch with the transcendental. My material senses are not in touch with the transcendence. Transcendence is another dimension. So Lord very mercifully takes a form similar to the deity or similar to the vibration that we chant in the spiritual energy, and the Lord is present there. And because we engage our senses in service of that particular manifestation of the Lord in the energy, what happens? Our mind and senses get purified. When we continuously, our senses get purified, how does it get purified? Because it is serving the transcendental form of the Lord, transcendental name of the Lord. You have no perception of transcendental name and transcendental form. However, whom are you serving? You are serving God Himself. An opportunity, He has come in a way in which to receive the service. Not that the energy is receiving the service. The Lord is incarnated into the energy. The person is incarnated. That means the energetic is in the energy. And whom are you serving? You are serving the Lord through a specific energy of His called material energy in this material world, through your material senses. Now what happens? Because the matter in the deity or the sound vibration that you produce, that is fully spiritual and spiritually potent. That will purify my material senses and make my material senses also pure. What is the meaning of making material senses pure? the screen of three modes of material nature drops, dissolves. The cloud drops. Because just like the deity's body is 100% spiritual, potentially my senses, my material senses, my material body can also be 100% pure. Potentially, it is pure, but because three modes are affecting it, it is not pure. It is material energy. I have a material body, I say. If I become free from the three modes of material nature, my body is spiritualized. So by constantly touching with the avatara, incarnation of the Lord, by constantly seeing the deity form, our eyes become purified. By constantly hearing the holy name of the Lord, our ears become purified, mind becomes purified. Our taste becomes purified. Everything becomes purified. This is a process. And this purification happens by touch. When you touch something pure, you become pure. When you touch fire, it becomes fire. Like a piece of iron put in the fire, it becomes fire-like. Similarly, when our senses are engaged in the service of the Lord, then it becomes Lord's-like senses. What is this? Satchidananda senses. It becomes slowly purified. It takes time. It gets purified. So purification means three modes of material nature, the screen of three modes of material nature drop. If the Lord had not come into his energy, because I have access only to the energy, I have material senses, I have access only to materially what I see. I have a mind, material mind and material ears, and I have access only to material sound. If the Lord by his omnipotency did not incarnate into the sound, did not incarnate into the form, then how will I ever get purified? How will I ever get association of the Lord? We get association of the Lord because of the unlimited kindness of the Lord. That is why the Archa Vigraha, every incarnation is considered to be extremely merciful. Or the mercy is the feeling behind every incarnation of the Lord. For the fallen conditioned souls, he gives a mercy to associate with him and an opportunity to drop our material covering. Dropping our material covering does not mean I have to drop my eyes. If I have to spiritually awaken my eyes, I have to drop this eyes. No. Your spiritually awakened mind, your eyes, just like Kardama Muni. Of course, in this case, it's not because of spiritually awakened. The Lord permitted him, gave him that window of time. Come on, you see. He removed the three modes of material nature. If you had three modes of material nature, you cannot see the form of the Lord. For that moment to bless him, Lord can do anything. He cleared his thing and the Lord appeared before him. And then he put back the screen, Lord disappeared. Three modes of material nature. So, in any incarnation, the biggest principle is, let's say you go before the deity, the first thing that should come in your mind is a sense of feeling of unlimited mercy, compassion coming out of the incarnation. How with my material eyes I am able to see the Lord? I am able to see the Lord. The Lord is existing there. Existentially I am seeing, but experientially I am not seeing His transcendental form today. When I get purified, existentially I will see that He exists there, as well as experientially I will also see. The process of purification by engage Vishikena Vishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate, the process of purification of engaging our senses in the service of the Lord, what it does is that engaging in the senses, what it does is it transfers that spiritual energy into us. Only if that spiritual energy comes, we can drop the normal sense of perception, which is covered by the three modes of material nature. So when you go before the deity, or when you chant Hare Krishna, constant background, the feeling has to be there. Anticipating the mercy of the Lord, who is before me, who is existentially before me, but unfortunately, not experientially, I am not able to, spiritually, experientially, I'm not able to experience him in a spiritual manner as he is there. He is there, his transcendental form is there. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw the Jagannath deity. He fell unconscious. When we say Jagannath deities, we won't fall unconscious. We will get purified. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no need of purification. He saw Jagannath deity, he saw the transcendental form of the Lord in the deity. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw the deity, he was existentially and experientially seeing. When we see the deity, because of your faith, you existentially perceive. Lord is not different from the holy name. Very mercifully has appeared. But experientially, I can only hear a material sound. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Or you can say, it's not a material sound. I can hear a spiritualized sound, or a Lord in his energy I can see. And that very same, in that energy, the Lord's transcendental Shuddhanama is also there. So, to see that Shuddhanama, to see the transcendental form of the deity, the Lord should allow. Now the Lord is not so cruel that, okay, it is my whimsical thing. When I allow, he can see. I will not allow him to see. Arre, what is this game? I want him, let him just show himself. No, the Lord wants us to awaken our spiritual eyes. Like Kardamamuni, Lord says, if you want, I can just take off the screen and show you for a moment. All devotees have experience of such things. Feeling some ecstatic thing during some kirtan. All of you must have felt. But every day you won't feel. Maybe sometimes you have felt. You have felt that you've forgotten that also. That's what made you devotee. When you read Srila Prabhupada's book, somewhere the same thing is applicable. Nama, deity, even for this Bhaktivedanta purport. To see the transcendental knowledge behind this is something that Prabhupada should allow. Only a devotee of Prabhupada, disciple of Prabhupada can touch the transcendental knowledge behind this. That is why it is said one should submissively hear. One submissively read. When you submissively read, new meanings come, new understandings come. These purports are constantly alive. It's like an ocean of, each purport is like an ocean of knowledge. An inseparable ocean. It's all connected. Every shabda is connected to every other thing. Like a hologram it is. So therefore we have to understand this tattva, that there is nothing, there is no matter of faith and all here. It is a matter of transcendental knowledge. Because normally there is a wrong usage for the meaning for the word faith. Shraddha is not really faith. Shraddha, you believe something already, it exists. It's not that, I am doubtful whether it exists or not, now I will have a faith. That is faith in tamoguna. Shraddha is faith in sattvaguna. Sattvaguna means truth, truthful faith. I know from the Shastra, holy name is non-different from Krishna. This is truth. But I have not perceived it. That is different from the faith that, okay, somewhere it said holy name is non-different from Krishna. I don't know. Let us see. I'll have some faith. Faith that it may be there. So faith in the mode of goodness means first it is truth. I have understood in Shabda that it is truth. That means you have already existential faith. Then you experience it. You have no doubt about its existence. You have no doubt that Krishna is in the deity. You have no doubt. You have no doubt that Krishna's transcendental Shuddha Nama is in the Nama. You have no doubt. But I cannot experience it. Just like if you have a hot plate here, and then you have one rubber over it, and then you put your hand on the rubber, will you feel the heat? You will not feel the heat. There is an insulator. Just because you are not feeling the heat, can you have existential faith that the hot plate is there on the other side? Is that called really a blind faith? No. Hot plate is there. I am not able to experience the heat because of the rubber gloves I am wearing. I am not able to. If you remove the rubber gloves, I can feel the heat. Is it not? So rubber gloves is coming in between. Similarly, three modes of material nature is coming in between. Me and the deity. Me and the Shuddhanama. Me and the transcendental deity form is coming in between. Therefore, experientially, I am not able to experience their presence. But existentially, due to faith, I know there is an existential experience. Is there. So therefore, it is said that faith is very important. This kind of faith is very important. Faith in the Shastra. My senses are blunt, I cannot experience, but I am going to pay obeisances to the deity. The Supreme Lord is aware and is receiving it. Ordinary person, I pay obeisances. Experientially also, I can feel. He will talk to me. He will say, I bless you. Or whatever it is. But here I know existentially. A day will come when I do offer my services like this to the Lord, incarnation. The rubber gloves will melt. Why rubber gloves will melt? Huh? Yeah, constant association with the Lord. Lord means all Shakti is around him. So that Shakti will melt. One of the first Shakti that will melt is what? Ignorance. One of the Shaktis around the Lord is always what? Knowledge. Chit. He is the ocean of Sat, Chit and Ananda. So Chit, this glouse is something that has to melt. There is Achit. That Achit will melt and Chit will take its place. Asat will go and Sat will come. What is Asat? Asat is, so many things. These are all material manifestations. They come and go. It's Asat. But the ultimate energy of the Lord, Pradhana, Mahat Tattva is not Asat. It is an energy of the Lord. So these kind of transcendental realizations manifest where we see things as they are, Sat, Chit, and the Ananda. Ananda is a relationship with Krishna. Constitutional relationship. Now also we have a relationship with Krishna. That we are practicing with our yantra to purify. Now also we see transcendental form of the deity, but not experientially. What you see is Lord himself. Lord has taken that form. Any questions? Yes. Here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In the stages of development of devotional service, like Sanatani Vritti, Nishta, Asakti, Ruchi, like that, so where do you place Kardamuni? Because there are desires, material desires are there. Still Lord has manifested
Correct.
His mercy.
That is why I said, Lord has decided to remove the screen for him and give him the benefit of seeing him directly. So not because of his own self-standing awakening. Like Dhruva Maharaj also, like Narada Muni also. In the beginning, when they were child. So that is Lord's mercy. As I explained, even in our life, there are intense moments, experiential moments of Krishna touching us.
But is that the same as what Lord has touched Kardamuni?
Pardon?
Say, if you get some experience in some kirtan or say some reading and get some wow effect, is that the same as what Kardamuni has?
It is the same. But not what you may think this was a great spiritual experience. But such experiences are rare. But there are experiences. That is why your subconscious is hankering after Krishna consciousness. Either it may be a Chit experience, it could be Ananda experience, it could be a Sat experience, it could be one of these. But we do not know. In other words, you eat sugar, you may not know what the sugar is chemically, right? But still you experience sugar. So similarly, you may not be able to describe what that is all, but it has impacted your life. It could be a sharp arrow of Chit from Prabhupada's purpose that has gone and hit your spiritual body. Some awakening is there, somewhere touching is required. Therefore, you have got this mercy. So it does not mean that you have a very heavy kirtan and you felt very good. That you cannot differentiate, but you have to understand that Lord has given us. Sometimes you also can make out this is an extraordinary experience. You can make out. But don't make a philosophy out of it. Every kirtan, every japa, every mantra that you do cannot be the touch, spiritual touch. It is an energy touch, spiritualized touch. Your touch of the spiritualized energy. We are touching the holy name, the chanting. We are touching the holy name, the incarnation of the Lord. We are touching existentially. Another question, yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This chanting of Hare Krishna mantra in Kali Yuga and the previous ages, if somebody is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, what is the difference? Will the individual also have the same things applying when he is chanting? In his material vibration, the Shuddha Nama will incarnate as he is in the Kali Yuga right now.
See, just like we said now, this same example, for Kardam Muni, a window was opened by the Lord. Qualified, unqualified, you can see me. Similarly, in Kali Yuga, qualified, unqualified, you vibrate Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Existentially, I am there. I am there. Now, in other yugas, if you know it is God's name and you chant and you have purity, God is there. But in this yuga, whether you know God's name or it is God's name, not God's name, if you are chanting that, the Lord is existentially there. So, Kali Kale Krishna Nama Rupa Avatara, what is the need to say that statement? Every Nama is Avatara only. Any yuga. Kali Kale Nama Rupa Avatara means in Kali Kala, whether you are qualified or not, that window of touch, existential touch is allowed. Even to a non-believer. And somewhere it will make a difference, purifying his senses, because it touches. And later on, if he is pursuing it, he will get the experiential touch of Shuddha Nama. That happens by developing bhakti. Yeah, what is the next? Same question? Or?
True. In this regard, we have injunctions which say if a non-devotee is vibrating Krishna Nama, then it is like sarpo chushta payo yataha.
Correct.
So what is the phenomena happening in that situation?
In that, what is happening is, there also Krishna is incarnated. Even if a non-devotee is chanting, Krishna is there. But it so happens that because there is a consciousness of that faithlessness in the Lord's personalism, that consciousness is there, the hearer gets both, just like milk and poison. Milk touched by a serpent. In a milk touched by a serpent, milk is still there, no? But when you drink, what happens? You don't have the capacity to separate the poison. So poison will hit you. That is the reason we should not hear from them. Because you will drink the poison that is there parallel to it.
So can we say simultaneously he is getting purification of coming in touch
No,
with...
he may not be touching, because he is offensive also. He is drinking the poison. When you drink poison, you kill yourself.
But that's along with the vibration of Krishna Nama.
The vibration you should hear, no. You are hearing with another attitude. That attitude is coming from the Mayavadi.
So can we say, bro, that even in the sound incarnation, because Lord is a person, he reserves the right to reveal himself.
He can reserve the right. These are all not a fixed phenomena. When persons are involved, anything they can do. So the Lord's incarnation means Lord is there. He can do anything. He can purify that Mayavadi also. If he is not very serious, very strong Mayavadi is very difficult to get purified. The innocent people who are not really understood what Mayavadism is, very superficially, I am one with God, superficially. They chant Hare Krishna, they can get purified. Those who have got realization in the sense that I am Brahman and finished, there nothing else exists. Such people are very strong Mayavadis. So I would say in Kali Yuga, very few Mayavadis are there. All are superficial Mayavadis. You take any Hindu, will say all are one, can worship him. He is not really a Mayavadi, he has not understood anything. When Mayavadis say that everything is one, it's something else it is. He is simply saying there is one power, so many different forms are there. Which actually correct. In our Vaishnava philosophy also we say that. Previous purport we are saying everything is coming from one person. Vibhinamsha, Disamsha, everything, Kala, Swamsha, all that. We are also talking the same thing. But we are saying that everything is coming from one person, that one person remains always Sarvakarana Karna. Mayavadis say that from one, everything is coming, but he is not a person, so he is transformed into all this. This is the difference. Ordinary Hindus, what do they know? They don't know all these things. So very easy that way to preach to the ordinary Hindus that, yeah, we have more faith than you have in Ganesha. You think these are all sankalpas, but we feel that there is a Ganesha's planet. Right now, Ganesha is living somewhere. Just like you and me live here in Bangalore city, Ganesha is living somewhere. Durga has a planet, Shiva has a planet. We believe. You think it is all sankalpa. We believe. But we believe that Krishna, Vishnu, is transcendental. He does not have a material body. These are all posts. Ganesha, Brahma, these are all posts. There are different Atmas who have taken those posts. This life, that Atma may be Ganesh, and next life, that Atma may get something else. Like different posts in this material world, Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, all these posts are there. They're not eternally, it's not a position. Position is eternal, persons are different. But Vishnu, he does not take a body like that. Vishnu is, even Shankaracharya says, Narayana paro avyaktat. See, there is Vyakta. All this is manifest energy. Avyakta means pradhana. Unmanifested, undifferentiated, original energy is called avyakta. Narayano paro avyakta. That means he is beyond pradhana. Not only beyond these three modes of material nature which creates all these forms, he is beyond that, Shankaracharya says. So Vishnu's form is transcendental. Vishnu doesn't take a form, it is his own self-same form. There is no duality in Vishnu's body. In our body there is duality. What is it? I am there and my body is there. My body is something that I take and I give up. Demigod's body they take and they give up. That is, that body is not them permanently. But Vishnu's body is him permanently. Krishna's body is him permanently. There is no question of taking and giving up. So we have an understanding, just see how Nama Avatara, DT Avatara, how we have explained. They explain it in a different way. They explain just like you and me take a body, that one which has become everything will take a body. So Krishna had a body like you and me, but it was a sattvic body. Therefore they are called Mayavadis. They say that Krishna's body is Maya. So Mayavadis we say. Yeah. Somebody, another question. Quite late. Tomorrow. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाए, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाए.